She pressed her trembling hand against her chest as tears rolled silently down her cheeks. Her voice barely rose above a whisper when she looked into the mirror and admitted the lie she had been forced to believe for years. No one wants you. Every cruel word from her past echoed inside her heart like a prison she could never escape. But before she could turn away, a quiet voice behind her changed everything forever. A single father stepped closer with unwavering eyes and whispered, "I want you." In that single moment, two broken lives began a journey neither of them had ever imagined. Before we continue this emotional story, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who believes in kindness and second chances, and subscribe to the channel Kindness Paradise. Your support helps us bring more heartfelt stories that remind the world compassion still exists. The bright spring morning filled the city with sunshine as people hurried along the sidewalks, but inside a small neighborhood bakery, 31-year-old Marin felt invisible. She arrived before sunrise every day, preparing fresh bread, arranging pastries, and greeting customers with a gentle smile that hid years of pain. Long before she worked behind the counter, she had dreamed of becoming an artist, but those dreams slowly disappeared after years of emotional abuse from a man who constantly told her she was ugly, worthless, and impossible to love. Even after finding the strength to leave that relationship, the words remained inside her mind, repeating themselves every morning she looked into the mirror. Across town, 36-year-old Rowan was learning that raising his 8-year-old daughter Ivy alone required more courage than he had ever imagined. His wife had passed away after a sudden illness 3 years earlier, leaving him to balance construction work, school lunches, homework, bedtime stories, and countless silent nights filled with grief. Rowan rarely thought about finding love again because every spare moment belonged to Ivy. Yet his daughter often noticed the loneliness hiding behind his smiles. She would quietly squeeze his hand and tell him they made a good team, and although he always smiled back, a part of his heart still felt unfinished. One sunny Saturday afternoon, Rowan stopped by the bakery after Ivy insisted they buy cinnamon rolls for a picnic in the nearby park. Marin greeted them warmly, but while handing over the box, she accidentally dropped one of the pastries. Embarrassed, she apologized repeatedly, expecting another customer to lose patience. Instead, Rowan simply laughed softly, picked up the box, and thanked her for working so hard. It was such a small act of kindness that Marin hardly knew how to respond. People usually noticed her mistakes. Very few noticed her effort. Over the following weeks, Rowan and Ivy became regular customers. Ivy always waved excitedly while asking about the newest desserts, and Marin gradually found herself smiling without forcing it. Their conversations remained simple, talking about the weather, school projects, favorite books, and the flowers blooming outside the bakery windows. Yet those ordinary moments slowly became the brightest part of Marin's days. She began arriving at work with hope instead of dread, wondering whether father and daughter would stop by before lunchtime. One afternoon, Ivy forgot her sketchbook on a bakery table. When Rowan returned to collect it, Marin noticed page after page filled with colorful drawings. One picture showed a little girl standing beside her father beneath a large tree, while an empty space remained on the other side. Without thinking, Marin smiled and asked who belonged there. Ivy answered honestly that someday she hoped someone kind would stand there with them. Rowan looked away awkwardly, but Marin felt something warm awaken inside a heart she had nearly given up on. Days turned into months, and their friendship continued growing. Rowan often repaired small things around the bakery without accepting payment, while Marin surprised Ivy with freshly baked cookies after school. The neighborhood slowly noticed how naturally the three fit together. Still, Marin refused to believe she deserved happiness. Every compliment from Rowan was met with disbelief because the scars left by years of emotional cruelty remained stronger than any kindness she received. Everything changed during the town's annual spring festival held beneath clear blue skies. Families filled the streets with laughter, musicians played cheerful songs, and children chased colorful balloons across the park. Rowan invited Marin to join them for lunch, and although nervous, she accepted. For the first time in years, she felt like she belonged somewhere. But as the afternoon continued, someone from her past unexpectedly appeared. Her former partner approached with the same cold smile that had once destroyed her confidence. He mocked her appearance, laughed at the idea that anyone could truly care about her, and quietly repeated the words that had haunted her for years. "No one wants you." The happiness disappeared from Marin's face. She stepped away from the crowd, fighting tears while staring across the peaceful lake. Every painful memory returned at once. She believed perhaps he had been right all along. Perhaps kindness was only temporary, and eventually everyone would leave. Rowan found her standing alone beneath the shade of a large tree. She could barely look at him as she whispered that no one could ever truly want someone as broken as she was. Rowan listened without interrupting. He understood grief, loneliness, and the invisible wounds people carried every day. Then he gently stepped closer and told her the words she never imagined hearing. He wanted her exactly as she was, not because she was perfect, but because her kindness, courage, and gentle heart had already become part of their lives. He admired the woman who kept smiling after surviving unimaginable pain. He respected the strength she never realized she possessed. Maren broke down in tears, not because she was weak, but because those words shattered years of fear. For the first time, someone saw beyond her scars. Ivy quietly wrapped her small arms around Maren and smiled as if she had known this day would come. Under the warm afternoon sunlight, surrounded by ordinary people enjoying an ordinary festival, 3 lonely hearts finally discovered they no longer had to face life alone. The months that followed were filled with healing instead of perfection. Maren started painting again, covering blank canvases with colorful landscapes that reflected hope instead of sadness. Rowan learned that opening his heart did not erase the memory of his late wife but honored the life still waiting ahead. Ivy finally filled the empty space in her drawings with a smiling woman holding both their hands beneath the same tree she had imagined months earlier. If this story has touched your heart so far, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Kindness Paradise. Your support helps these stories reach people who may need encouragement the most. Special request: before this story ends, please comment, "Everyone deserves to be loved." Your words may inspire someone reading the comments who feels forgotten today. Sometimes the deepest wounds are not visible to the world. They are hidden behind quiet smiles, polite conversations, and ordinary routines. Yet it only takes one person willing to see beyond the pain to remind someone that their story is not over. Maren discovered that love was never about being flawless. Rowan discovered that opening his heart again was not betrayal but courage. And Ivy discovered that families are built through compassion, trust, and unwavering kindness. As they walked home together beneath the bright afternoon sky, their shadows stretched across the sidewalk as one family, proving that even after years of heartbreak, hope can still arrive in the simplest words. Sometimes, all it takes to change a life forever is hearing someone say, "I want you."